morning again, this is Deborah. I'll be guiding you right now into a short, full body, intermediate practicing. So go ahead and go into an easy seated posture to begin with a little bit of centering and breathing and the application of the bandhas. So if you're already seated comfortably, lengthen your spine, allow the belly, the shoulders to soften. Soften the jaw and allow your eyes to close as you begin to focus on your breath and maybe gradually deepen. As you deepen the breath, see that each inhalation expands your belly out. Each exhale, you may draw the low belly slightly down and in towards the spine so you can expel all the air out. And do that consciously for a couple times. The next time that you reach the bottom of your exhale and you draw the low belly in, try to keep that engagement in place. So the next time that the inhale comes in, it finds the resistance of this engagement known as Mula Bandha in yoga. You may immediately notice as you keep that engagement in place that the breath now creates an expansion throughout the ribs in all directions. The inhale expanding, the exhale softening. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Now the next time that you find that expansion of the ribs in all sides, keep a little bit of that through muscle engagement so you can activate Uddiyana Bandha. Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha together combine. It's a bandha called Meru Bandha, which holds a container for the breath. So as you breathe deeply and freely in and out through the nose, the center of the body remains contained, so it doesn't move as much as before. Maybe creating a little bit of movement into the waist in that place right below the lower ribs. Keep the shoulders softened. And know that this is a practice. Some days it's easy, some days are not. And the more you practice it, the more second nature this will become. So if this becomes a struggle, you can always let it go and bring it back up a couple times throughout your practicing. Allowing your body to remember this through experience, through applying it. And the third bandha we're going to apply is the Jiva Bandha. You can create a small space in between upper and lower teeth and press the tip of the tongue in the front teeth and the rest of the tongue in the roof of your mouth. You can create a gentle sucking energy, like there is a piece of candy in between the tongue and the roof of the mouth. And this vacuum activates the parasympathetic nervous system, allowing this sense of soothing, and also activates the core in a very gentle way. Take a few moments to breathe, applying these three bandhas, and see how it feels to you. Maybe places that you can let go a little bit so it's not so rigid. There may be places that you can activate a little bit more to create more stability. And allow your eyes to open. And let's go ahead, let's go ahead and begin in wide child's pose. So big toes together, knees wide apart. Bring your forehead down. You can bend the elbows here. Take the palms of your hands together so you can send your hands towards the back of your head. Pull your elbows towards you. And as you continue to breathe deeply, see if you can apply here the bandhas you've practiced in the easy seated position. Bring your arms forward, come up to hands and knees. Spread out and fingers wide, ground them into the floor. Press the feet into the floor. Take a deep breath in. And in your exhalation, tuck your toes under, send your hips up and back into a downward facing dog. First downward dog, paddle through the heels so you can open up the lower half of the legs, the calf muscles. Take your right leg up and back, reaching through the heel with the toes pointed down. In your exhalation, roll out into a plank. Send your left knee over towards, so your right knee over towards the left elbow. Then press back into your three-legged downward dog. Go back and forth using your own breath. Next time the knee comes to elbow, hold. And exhale back to downward dog. Bring your right leg up higher than, right hip higher than the left hip. And bend at the knee to open up the front of the hip. Now bring the knee in so you can step it forward into a low lunge. Lower the knee down, take your hands into the thighs to come up. Take a moment to breathe in here. Pressing your hips forward and down. Take your hands forward in front of you, bring your left elbow on top of the right. Into eagle arms. Press your elbows forward, shoulders down. As you use your glutes to press your hips forward, press your rib cage back. Deep breaths. Release that. Bring your hands down, press your right hip back, turn the toes up to lengthen the hamstring. Lengthen the spine. Active feet. Come back into your low lunge. This time, tuck your toes under, lift your left knee up, extending the back leg. Come up in your high lunge. You can use your hands on the thigh. When you're stable, inhale, pick your arms up. Exhale, bend at the elbows and open the heart up. Your next inhale, arms back over your head. Exhale, take your hands down to the floor and take a quarter turn to the long edge of your mat, making your feet parallel to one another. So heels slightly out, toes slightly in, wide-legged forward fold. Release the shoulders and neck fully. Soften behind the knees. fingertips down to align the crown of the head and the tailbone. Turn the toes out and the heels in. Spread and lift your toes. And if you inhale, bend at the right knee. Keep your left leg extended, but soften behind the knee joint. Exhale, find center and switch. Go side to side with your own pace. Once you've gone left and right equally, come back to center and return into your wide-legged forward fold. Heels out and toes in. Release the spine. Keep your left foot as it is. Ground through the right heel so you can turn the right toes forward. Bend the right knee right on top of the ankle in the position of warrior two, so you can come up with your torso and take your arms out into a T, gaze over your right shoulder. Lower your left arm down, pick your right arm up, reverse the warrior. Draw the shoulders down. Returning to warrior two, slide the shoulders forward. Bind the right forearm into the right thigh. Take your left arm over your head in side angle pose. Bring your left arm up to the ceiling and slide your right hand down to the shin or ankle. You can gaze up to the thumb or down towards your foot. Press your right hip back and left hip forward to extend the right leg into extended triangle. Bring both hands down, bend at the front knee. Returning to the high lunge, pick the left heel up. Now here, ground through the hands to step back into your downward facing dog. Before resting, roll forward into a plank. Knees can be down or up. Hug the elbows in. Lower yourself slowly down to the belly. Inhale, pick the chest up and forward into a low cobra. Release the forehead. Come back to hands and knees. Rest in child's pose. Soften completely. Deep belly breaths. You can add here lateral bend to one side. And the other side. Reapply the engagement of the low belly, of the rib cage, and Jiva Bandha, the seal of the mouth. Hands and knees, neutral spine. Couple deep breaths in here. In your next natural exhalation, tuck your toes under, send your hips up and back into downward dog. You can paddle for your heels again. And when you're ready, press the right heel down, extend your left leg up and back. Bend the left knee in to reach towards the right elbow into plank. Exhale, back to three-legged dog. Follow your breath. Next time, the left knee comes to right elbow, hold. Exhale, back to downward dog. And open up the hip by lifting the left leg up high. Bend the knee. Bring your left knee in and step your left foot forward. You can lower the right knee down. Come up into the low lunge. Just take a moment to get settled. Press your hips forward, active glutes. You can add eagle arms. This time the right elbow on top of the left. As you press your hips forward, press your rib cage back. Draw the shoulders down. Release that out. Press your left hip back, turn the toes up into a hamstring stretch, lengthen the spine. Bring the foot back down, bend at the knee. Tuck your back toes under to take a quarter turn to the long edge of your mat. Back to your wide-legged forward fold, heels slightly out, toes lightly in. Come back up to the flat back. This time as you turn the heels in, bring the feet close enough so as you bend both knees, they come right on top of the ankles. Bind the forearms into the inner thighs. Lengthen the spine. Now if you want to add shoulder mobility here, you can come up to the hands on the thighs and dip one shoulder at a time as you gaze into the opposite shoulder. Make sure you do both sides equally. Take the fingertips back down, lift your heels up, out, back to wide-legged forward fold. Keep your right foot as it is. Turn your left toes forwards towards the front of your mat. Bend at the knee on top of the ankle and come up into warrior two. Arms out to gaze over the left shoulder. Lower your right hand down, lift your left arm up, open up the side of the body. Back to warrior two, slide the shoulders forward. Bind the left forearm into the left thigh. Take your right arm over your head. Side angle pose. Pick your right arm up, slide your left hand down to the shin, ankle, or foot. Press the left hip back, right hip forward, extend the triangle. Can gaze up towards the right thumb or down. Deep breaths. Feeling the feet, the hands active in the center of the body. You can bring both hands down, bend at the left knee. Lift your right heel up so you're back into the high lunge. Connect the hands to the floor and step back into downward dog. Roll yourself forward into a plank, knees up or down, come all the way down, and open the heart into a low cobra. Exhale, release the forehead, press out to hands and knees. With the knees out wide, big toes together. Release in child's pose. You can take a moment there to take a few belly breaths. But then let's add a shoulder stretch. So bring the right arm underneath the chest, lower the shoulder down. You can extend the left arm over your head. Come up a little bit so you can switch to the other side. Left arm underneath you, lower the shoulder down. Keep both arms extended. Send your hips back. Come up to prepare for a seated position. Lengthen both legs forward in front of you. Bend at the left knee and bring that across the right so you can plant the foot into the floor. And find your way into the upper body twist. So pull the left knee into the chest with your right arm. Take your left arm back. Gaze over the left shoulder. Each inhale, ground through the sit bones. Exhale, twist a bit deeper. Lengthen both legs forward and switch to the other side. Make sure you keep the spine long, both hips grounded. And the breath flowing freely. Come back around to your center. And make your way into a laying down posture, rolling yourself down slowly. Once you're in a supine position, bend at the knees. Take the right ankle on top of the left knee or thigh. You can stay here or bring the legs closer to you. So open up the glute, the hip a little bit more. Lengthen through the back of the neck and ground through the shoulders. Place the feet back down, switch to the other side. Each side is different, so maybe this side you just stay over here, or you can bring the legs closer. In this posture, it's really important to keep the feet active, mainly on the one that you're opening up the hip. That protects the joint of the knee, the hip, and therefore the low back as well. Plant your feet into the floor, step them wider than your hips, arms out. Just do a couple windshield wipes to give closure to your practicing. Knees side to side, gazing opposite of your knees. And lengthening the top thigh bone each time the knees come over to the side. If there's any final push posture that your body needs, you can take this time to go through that. If you're ready to release in Shavasana, lengthen the legs out, the arms out, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, and if you exhale, let everything go. Stay here for a few moments. breath in. Exhale out through the mouth. Swallow. Smile gently to yourself, to your heart, your body, with gratitude and love. Take small movements through the fingers and the toes. You're awakening the body in your preferred way. Bend one knee at a time. Once you plant the feet into the floor, roll into one side of your body, using the bottom arm as a pillow, as a support for your head. Again, stay with the eyes closed, the attention fully inward. Roll yourself up into an easy seated posture. Lay your hands into your knees with the palms facing up in a receptive posture. Lengthen the spine and reconnect with your breath. Maybe take these moments to set an intention for your day or your week. Or cultivating the practice of gratitude, listing a couple things you're grateful for. Whatever you feel most called to. Carry your hands into the heart space in classic prayer posture, Anjali Mudra. Bow the chin down and in to this very moment. I thank you for your trust and time. The light in me bows and honors to the very same light within you. Namaste.